Hey guys, it's Paradise and we've been really loving Arc Raiders. There's so much fun to have and a lot of depth in its various systems, so we wanted to wrap together all of the tips and that beginner's stuff that we wish we knew sooner so you can have the best start possible without wasting your time, gear or money in game. So let's get into it with a quick overview of what your goals in the game are, and we'll get more specific as we go through. This is of course a PvPvE extraction game, so your goal is to gear up either with your own loot from your stash, crafting or buying, or use a free loadout which includes the most basic essentials but lets you get in a raid for free, although you don't get your safe box to secure loot if you choose this. But it's still a great option if you're broke or you just don't want to lose your gear. Normally you're going to want to start by picking and loading into a map. There's various maps to play, with the Dam Battlegrounds always being available, while other maps like the Spaceport and Buried City will open for a set amount of time before closing again. Once you're in though, you then want to loot various locations around the map to fill your pockets with gear and goodies. There's various locations to loot on the map with different rarity and density of loot, with white being scarce, orange having decent loot, and red having the best. However, those orange and red zones are guarded by patrolling Arc robots, and given that you can find better loot there, it also means more players are drawn to that area, making them a lot more dangerous. So you could go straight to the best loot spots, load up and prepare to fight, or play stealthily and avoid those areas and take whatever loot you can get. The choice is yours. Beware of the AI Arc robots though. The spider walkers and larger robots take a ton of firepower to bring down, and the noise of that alone attracts other players. However, Arc robots can be looted once defeated, and the larger robots have a ton of loot to search on each part of them. The drones, however, are much easier to take down but do have less loot, and you can even target their thrusters as weak points to take them down easier. Once down, you can loot their remains, and always make sure to be looking over your shoulder for other enemy players nearby after making noise. You see, noise is a massive factor in this game, much like other extraction games. Making noise is done by doing things like shooting, breaching containers or doors, and even just running can be heard by other players from various distances. So choosing where to go and what to do in any situation will all factor into how likely you are to encounter another player. The loot does come in different rarities identified by a color-coded system. Legendary loot is orange or yellow, mostly being schematics to unlock new crafting options. Purple loot is very valuable, while blue loot is still plentiful in those red and orange areas on the map, and then you have green and finally white or grey. Outside of this, loot generally comes in different categories. You have crafting materials used for crafting and upgrading, schematics for learning new things to craft, consumables with things like healing and grenades, and valuable items that are only used to sell for extra money, but they are really worth a lot. Some grey valuables even sell for more than blue and green crafting materials. So try to manage your inventory by prioritizing higher rarity loot and dropping those lower rarity items as you run out of space. When you take your own gear into a raid, you also have your safe box. This starts with 2 slots but later goes up to 3 with augments. These items are safe even if you die in the raid, so if you get something very rare like a new legendary schematic, make sure to put it in your safe box. Once you're fully stuffed with items and loot though, you want to extract, and Arc Raiders does it in an interesting way. You need to find an elevator, and there's many of them scattered around the map with different timers counting down. These timers indicate when they lock off and won't be available anymore. Anytime before that timer ends, you can go to them and activate the console nearby to start a timer. This makes a lot of noise and attracts other players and Arc robots, but once it has passed, it will open and you can run inside to activate the console, and if successful, you will extract out of the match to bank your loot and gain experience. There's also train extracts on some maps that function in a similar way, but they're underground, and there's even raider hatches that require finding or buying a special raider hatch key to open that lets you get out much more quicker and quietly. Now you have the gist of things, let's go over the loadout system. You have 2 gun slots, and while you only really need to bring 1, having 2 is very strong, especially early. You can use your whole magazine, then swap to your secondary weapon and keep on shooting instead of having to wait to reload. And this can make the difference in defeating a player or dying to them, but it does require a bigger investment of taking 2 guns. Then you have your shield slot below your weapons. You always want to have a shield in, as it massively mitigates damage you take to your health, letting you tank a lot more hits. There's different rarities of these, but using anything higher than green requires using augments. This is the slot above your loadout. These augments increase your backpack size, letting you hold even more loot, and they even let you use shields at higher rarity, making you much more tanky. But you will lose everything when you die, so again it's a much bigger investment, but it allows you to hold more and be stronger. In your backpack you can hold pretty much everything, while in your quick use slots you can only hold consumable items like utilities, grenades, and medical items. You always want to bring bandages and shield recharges at a minimum to keep yourself topped up while in the raid. So I recommend taking an augment, 1 to 2 guns, a stack of ammo, and the best shield you can, with some bandages and shield recharges. You also need to know about your workshop and the vendors. The workshop is like your base where you can upgrade different crafting benches. You also have Scrappy the Rooster here that gathers materials for you each time you go out on a raid, so make sure to check in and collect those materials. After unlocking new benches, you can use them to craft guns, ammo, meds, and more. So you want to look out for the materials needed to expand these, and later on you can level them up. Vendors allow you to buy items so you can restock on vital things that you need and you can't currently craft. Sometimes they're expensive, but selling those valuable items you find out in raids really adds up and lets you keep ahead of the curve with buying items you need. The vendors also give you quests to complete as you progress, giving you different tasks to aim to do while raiding, and they reward you with various items and experience, which is important for earning skill points in the skill tree. As you play and extract, do missions and more, you gain experience. This will level you up and give you skill points. In the character tab, you can use these skill points to upgrade your character through the conditioning, survival, or mobility tree. Conditioning increases your maximum stamina, your carry weight, your stamina recovery, lowers your fall damage, makes breaching faster, and more. Mobility does things like increase your climbing and vaulting speed, your dodge distance, and more. While survival increases your looting speed, lowers your noise, makes arc robots harder to target you, and more. You want to invest in what suits your playstyle, but I always prefer stamina related perks first so I can run for longer and travel quicker across the map. The mastery system allows you to complete specific tasks in a match, which you generally do passively over time, and rewards you with premium currency, so these are worth targeting too. Meanwhile, the battle pass system will give you specific tasks to complete, giving you battle pass currency that can be used to buy different goodies like premium currency, cosmetic outfits, and more in the battle pass. Now let's go over some useful tips and tricks that you want to know. You can use the left alt button to do a dodge roll. This is amazing to use just to travel around and in a fight, and not many people are using it at the moment. So remember, with left alt you can dodge roll. Another button to remember is X on your keyboard, as this allows you to swap the shoulder you're aiming over. This is massively important depending on the corner that you're currently guarding. By pressing X, you can be ready for any situation on any staircase in any piece of cover, so make sure to use this. It's also good to know that holding G will open up your Emote Wheel. This lets you communicate with other raiders with preset voice lines while playing. You can do things like ask to team up, and sometimes it even works and you might make a friend. Holding B though is the proximity voice chat button, which is perfect for chatting with players nearby. Although note, not everyone is your friend and some people are just out for themselves. Something extremely useful to know is that you run faster when you're not holding anything in your hands. You can do this by pressing 5, and this will basically allow you to run with your fists, and you move a lot faster than having a gun or object in your hand. We mentioned earlier about the Raider hatch key to extract with, which is a much faster and safer way to extract and secure your loot. But did you know you can actually buy this off of one of the vendors for 6,000? That might sound like a lot at the beginning, but it really isn't. It's like selling 2 or 3 valuable items, so you can easily cover the cost within the raid. If you buy it before going in, you can even place it in your safe box, meaning you always have a guaranteed way to get out without drawing too much attention, and if you end up dying, you still keep it because it's in your safe box. Another helpful thing to know is that you will find keycards throughout the world. They'll often tell you which area of the map they open, such as this one that opens the control tower in Spaceport. So I went to the control tower, and sure enough, there is a door that is locked and requires this keycard, opening it up and allowing me to go to the top of the tower and gain a ton of valuable loot that no one else could get to. Stash them in your safe box so you won't lose them if you die, and try to go to the place with the doors that they open. Something you want to be doing in all extraction games is looting as fast as possible so you aren't stuck in the menus in case you get attacked. You can either double click on items or control click on items to instantly move them into your inventory or relevant slots like your quick slots without having to drag everything. So always try doing this. In the graphics settings, you can also adjust your field of view. It only maxes out at 80, but if you prefer to see more on your screen, then this is great. A really good thing to note is that running out of shield charges in a raid is very common, and you don't want to be caught without maximum shields. But those Arc drones that fly around can be killed and looted to get Arc Powercells. These are amazing because they are actually consumable items to recharge your shields that you can get while raiding. So if you're low on shield or need a top up, shoot down some drones or robots and loot these things. So I hope this starter guide was helpful for you out in Ark Raiders so you have your head wrapped around how to play, what to do with a few tips and tricks we've picked up. Share any extra tips you have down below so we can all learn together as a community, and subscribe for more videos coming your way very, very soon. Here at Arekkz Gaming, we're two friends who love to play games. You have me, Paradise, as well as 26.
Our goal is to keep the videos as concise as possible by cutting out any of the fluff and focusing on what really matters with high quality videos.
So make sure you're subscribed down below for more videos on your favorite games coming very, very soon.